Wait, why isn't anything showing up? Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. There we go. Let's go. It's go. Hello, hello. Actually, I didn't even open up chat. Just a moment. You'll be on the screen in a hot 2 seconds. Maybe. Yes. There we go. You should be on now. Woohoo! Hi hi. Sorry about that. No, it's not that I forgot about you. It's just I just got home. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. For those who are new here, maybe, I don't know. It should be the usual gang for now. But perhaps some new people will be coming in to see, as we do have the Modest Climb tournament happening. And this was kind of made in response to the vast amount of support that Modest Climb has gotten so far. So thank you very, very much for that. It is it's like a small tournament that we were expecting it to stay relatively, like, under the radar, but it does seem to have spread a little bit further than what we thought. So we do have 16 responses already, and we do want to try to encourage people who've never, made decks before to kind of have their go at making a deck without feeling pressured to include all the meta staples. I heard it's getting popular. I'm just a guy. I'm just a weirdo guy. So we do have 16 responses so far. I'm just looking at the number of responses. I'm not looking at the actual responses yet, as I do want to keep it mostly a surprise for when we do our kind of like sorting out our submissions. And what we decided, what the committee has decided, is that the committee being myself, Shoku, and Shinja, what we've decided is that we will stream the process, and Shinja will go through all of the submissions and obviously eliminate ones that are not conforming to our restrictions that we put in, which is it should be under $250 limit in TCG. Wait, actually, hold on. So shout out your deck. Oops, not that. Sorry. Shout out your deck does have a TCG player low. Wait, you can't see it. Hold on. Chat, you're in the way. Chat, get out of here. Okay. So if you look up in this corner over here, there is like a TCG player low, and it shows you basically a low estimate of how much your deck will cost. So okay, you could go back now. Stop. You don't need to cry. It's okay. It's fine. So there is a TCG low, and we want it to be maximum $250. It is a low instead of a high, so you have some wiggle room. I think you should be able to have a lot of options with $250. Actually, after seeing some Coffee Beans talk, I feel like we may have made the budget a little too high, because there's a lot of leeway with budget decks, and it can get very low. Like, for example, I've seen as low as like $18, $13. So yeah, it's very possible to have an incredibly budget deck, like easily under $100. But having staples in your deck will probably bring it over, which is why I set it to 250, because the decks that I make for Modest Archive, which do usually have some of the staples but avoid really expensive meta, like, well, not avoid, but I don't see the need to add them, because it kind of doesn't flow with the way I build decks. So it usually falls between 200, like under 200 or 250. Under 250 for sure. So that's how I was like, okay, 250 should be within the budget of decks. Does a $13 deck ever win though? We will find out. We will find out, okay? In the Modest Climb, we'll find out just how low can you go. Put in dungeon guides, guys. You could put in dungeon guides, because they are, wait, hold on. Dungeon guide. They are, let's see, $7 per now. So if you have a full playset, that's $28. Still within reason. You still have $222 left to play with. We love Dungeon Guide. But Looking Glass, no. Looking Glass though, you'll go immediately, like, uh, oh wait, okay, because you can actually, because RDO kind of fucked up the prices. So Looking Glass, the reprint, not this particular one, in this one, the reprint. Wait, oh my god, Modest. Sorry, my Modest Climb promo is blocking everything. Yeah, the reprint did lower it. Yeah, so exactly. The RDO version is much, much cheaper. So if you wanted to, you can technically add the Looking Glass, but let's see. What are the expense, like Cheshire Cat, Impish Grin? She is Wait, hold on. Let's remove Dungeon Guide, and let's remove she is $86 on her own. So um she's a little over budget for Modest Archive by quite a bit. Lost Providence is also cheaper now because of the RDO reprint, which is $40. So Lost Providence also can be added. So any material deck card can actually be added, and perhaps that's another reason why I retroactively think we could have definitely lowered the budget. But since I already put it out and I already announced it with $250 budget, I'm not going to retroactively lower it. We'll see how this first tournament goes, and then if we do a second tournament, maybe, I don't know, depending on how well this one goes. Already the response has been more than what we could have ever asked for, because look at this. We have a page in Fractal of Insight. we have a page just for Modest Climb in Fractal of Insight. Isn't that crazy? Thank you so much, Abdul. Thank you. So this shows all of the 90 plus hipster rating cards. Just don't look at these ones though. These ones don't count. The ones at the very top. Yeah. So is the site accessible for main page, or I actually have no idea, but I do have the URL, so I will link it to both chat just in case. But yes, it is going to be. You submitted a silly deck for Modest Archive. Oh my god, thank you, Virgo. So I'm really excited to see the decks. But if there are people who want to join the tournament that are in like my community, or like Shoku's community, who's never built a deck, because I think most of the people who are in the Grand Archive community that saw Modest Climb might have already known how to like build decks, for example. But for people who are just in like my community, not necessarily for Grand Archive, or in Shoku's community for like, not necessarily for Grand Archive, but want to participate because it's something they, their streamers that they watch, has hosted, then I wanted to help people, or like people who might be interested in TCGs in general, and are like, oh, this is very beginner friendly Grand Archive tournament. I want to take part, but I don't know where to start when it comes to making a deck. That is why I decided to make this stream very impromptu. So for anyone who actually makes decks that are like legit decks, please click out of this stream. Please click out of the stream. This is just how I went about starting like breaking into like deck building as someone who's very new to TCGs. Like I've never played a TCG like more than like two games, for example, of before Grand Archive. Like before Grand Archive, I played like 2-3 games of Vanguard. I played a game of Yu-Gi-Oh. I played some like a day or two of Shadowverse on the mobile game. Let's see, and some of all that other stuff, right? So, but I never really like latched on to anything like Pocket Pokemon, like Pocket Pokemon. No, wait. What was it called? That one as well. I'm like, I played it a little bit, but I never really like actively went about playing it, So, oh yeah, Pokemon TCG Pocket. Thank you, thank you, Shoku. Hi, Shoku, the other host of this tournament. You're sweating in it. Oh my god. Oh, I'm getting the Japanese and English. Oh, that's probably why. Yeah. So I never really had the TCG experience, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna make a deck because I don't know anything when it comes to like what people call like tempo or like the wind conditions, all those word terms that people were throwing around. I was like, I have no idea. So I started with a starter deck. Obviously, I started with Diana, and then I played Sylvie slime deck because that recollection just came out when I got into Grand Archive. So I got the Sylvie recollection deck, and then that's where they had like extra cards where you could kind of like switch out cards, And I was like, okay, I think I kind of get that. So if you're completely new, like 100% new to Grand Archive, I would suggest taking a starter deck, which you can, I believe, find the list of. Wait, let me double check on that. Did I, did I plan this stream before I said I'll do it? No, unfortunately. But yes, you could. Oh yeah, yeah. Sylvie should have all the starter decks, so you can actually get it from this sylvie.org. I'll just paste this one out now to the chat. So, okay, this is the site that I generally go to for building decks. And for the tournament, you will have to put it to shout out your decks, but you could literally just press. You could literally import decks. So I'll show you how to do that later, which is, I think, blah, 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 decks. Oops. My decks. And then import decks. And then you could, for example, once you created a deck here on Sylvie, you could just go to, like, for example, my send help, right? Go to export, Omnidex, and then you could just, like, basically copy all of this and then paste it here, and then you just put like hidden deck name, blah, 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 and then you could just import it. So copy paste import works really, really great here. So let's see, this one this one is my ultimate thing, and I don't know why Topsy degrees and right, I put Topsy in my sideboard. So this one's very expensive. That's $576. This is not a modest deck by any means. This was my ultimate showdown with Shoku, which is why it has like angelic channeling. Only Moonveil Android, yes, it has Moonveil Android, which is 25 cents. she was one of my win conditions. She was actually one of my win conditions, and I started but there was a process, okay. But anyways, how I went about making this deck, there was a theme. We had to use the ultimate, right? So I always start with a theme of what I want to do for a deck. So for example, with Modest Archive, it's pretty easy because we each select like a card that has really high like hipster rating. For example, I'll just be like, okay, I actually have a card that I was interested in that I thought I would use as an example. It was this one, Manifest Threat. 99.1 hipster rating, right? Overall, lifetime record 050. It has never won. But it's if target ally has a debuff counter on it, destroy that ally. Otherwise, put a debuff counter on it. And it's a floating memory with no class bonus. So it's like, okay, interesting. Let's see if there... And so I would find that interesting, right? So then I'll be like, okay, you know what? Let's see if there are other cards that have debuff on them. If I remember correctly, there are a few. So yes, there are just barely a few. Yeah, and so I'll be like, okay, put 2 debuff counters on target ally. Okay, that's cool. This is a normal card, so we have some flexibility in what like elements we could go to. So okay, sure. This one is a Terra. I would have been Kongming because it's Kongming, right? I'll be like, okay, I'll keep that in the back of my head. And then Haniel. She's a normal, so she still works for us. Luxem and Umbra imbue though. So if we go her, we would want some Luxem or Umbra cards. And if we imbue 3, then if Haniel is imbued, put a debuff counter on a target ally you don't control, put a buff counter on Haniel, and recover 1. Pretty sweet. And she's hot. You know, that's obviously something that people would be interested in. Devouring Malice. Devouring Malice enters the field with X gem counters on it. Remove a gem counter from Devouring Malice by resting it. As a spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Put 3 debuff counters on target ally. Deal 3 damage to target champion and recover 3. Deal 8 unpreventable damage to your champion and draw 2 cards. So, okay. 3 debuff counters? That's pretty good. So, it's like, okay, well, we don't need 3 on 1. We just want to be able to put more than one on any target. So I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Now this one. Up to 1 target ally gets -1 until end of turn. If that ally is an automaton, put 2 debuff counters on it. This one sucks. this one is immediate nix. Because it's just like, okay, so my opponent has to be an automaton. I'm giving my opponent the agency instead of me having the agency. So in that sense, I don't want that to be up in the air, like I can't control it, right? So that, whatever. And then Suffocating Miasma. On enter, if Suffocating Miasma is imbued, you may put 3 debuff counters on target ally. At the beginning of each opponent's recollection phase, that player puts a debuff counter on an ally they control. If they don't, deal 2 unpreventable damage to their champion. So this is an interesting one. Automaton, hey, I know. Like, you know, if this was like I control an automaton and then I could put like a debuff counter on them, like a debuff counter on any of like the ally I don't control, yeah, you know, then it's like, okay, that's great, because then I could just make an automaton deck. But because it's like the target has to be an automaton, it sucks. Actually, how is reprogram on here? It has to be. I can't see anyone using this card. I don't know. Is it not? It's not. Wait, actually, it doesn't show the. it doesn't have the card name on here, so I wouldn't be able to search for it. But oh, I don't see it. I could be blind, but I don't see it. Might not be here. Someone out there uses reprogram. Someone out there may potentially be using reprogram. But anyways, so what I'm seeing is that we go Umbra because there are 3 cards, 1, 2, 3 that work with Umbra, right? So debuff Umbra, gotcha. So let's try this, and then I'm just gonna put all of them. Like I don't even need. I'm not even gonna like bother like balancing it. I'm just gonna throw it all on here, and I'll be like, cool, gotcha. So Alice, maybe, cause this one does work really well with Alice, right? Because she, you know, is recovering the deep, yada yada yada. But it's not class bonus locked. This also isn't class bonus locked. This though is interesting. It's not class bonus locked either. So I could go Tristan. I could go Diana. There's no real limitation to like what I need to put here yet. So now I have to think, okay, what do I want to do? Like this just instantly destroys allies, right? Which is cool. But now I need an actual win condition. Now I need an actual win condition. And in which case, she could be my win condition because like if Hanya is imbued, put a debuff counter, and then if not, put a buff counter on Hanya and recover 1. It isn't on enter, so it's just like, this one's also, it doesn't provide one, but this one is interesting because you put a debuff counter on each opponent. Yeah, and this one keeps putting debuffs on an ally they control every recollection phase, right? And it's a Fantasia. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I like this. I really like this one. in this case, I may not even need Devouring Malice because this one will keep putting debuff counters every at beginning of each an opponent's recollection phase. Actually, Pantheon card, anyone? Maybe. So I'm gonna put this one up here because I want to keep this. Is that card within budget? The Suffocating Miasma? I think so. So this is how I start building my decks, right? And oh wait, I'm on sideboard for some reason. Sorry, let me go back to main deck. Suffocating Miasma. Add, and then add Manifest. Okay. Add. And then we will be adding Haniel. Okay, so Haniel is also optional, I think. And then material deck, we put, wait, what's her name? Devouring Malice. Okay. Okay. So now I'm like, okay, what champion do I want to be? And sometimes I really don't have like a specific process of how I decide what to concentrate on next, because sometimes there are more things that I want to like look at in the main deck, and I usually almost always start with the main deck first instead of choosing what champion I want. And then I always look at what the main deck that I want to build is, and like what kind of engine I want to build instead of what champion I want to play. So that's kind of the way I do it, but it's also always valid to be like, okay, I really want to play this champion because I love her. Like Arsana players, I love Arsana, so I will make Arsana work, right? That's perfectly fine. But then you have the problem of like finding an engine for her, in which case like you just have to look through all of like Arsana possible cards, especially like, okay, you're like, okay, what can she do? She could brew, she could gather, she could she's Astra. Am I getting called out? No, I'm just saying Arsana lovers, they're quite prominent in their love for Arsana, I believe, compared to the other champions, you know? Yeah, so I'm just saying, I love that for them. So that's why for me, it's a little too much of a broad topic for someone who doesn't know everything about a champion, for example. So that's why I tend to start with a main deck where I do find an engine that I'm kind of interested in, and then I work from there. So now that I have that, I'm like, okay, I really want to work with Suffocating Miasma. And now I'm like, okay, curious. That's a Fantasia. Is there any other Umbra Fantasia or even normal Fantasia that I would like to work with? Fantasia. Oh wait, is that main? I think it's a type. Yeah, it's this type. Okay, so show all. And then you could like sort through with like type, right? So like this is a Fantasia, and then I only want to see the normal and Umbra element of it, so then I just hit apply, and I'm like, wow, there sure is a lot. There sure is a lot more than I expected. I know these like angels are like oh wait, hold on. Search your deck for any amount of angel ally cards. Banish those cards along with any amount of angel ally cards from your hand, memory, and or graveyard. Shuffle your deck, then draw a card into your memory for each card banished from your hand and memory. This way, until the end of turn, you may activate target card banished by set. Interesting. So then I'm like, do I make an angel deck? But I'll keep that in the back of my mind. You know, since this is a unique Fantasia for angel specifically, angel specific deck. I was like, okay. Let's look at the Umbras first. For example, all allies get -1. Interesting. Works well with the debuff, right? Interesting. So I'm just adding it just one because I'm like, it's an interesting card. On enter, you gain agility 3, which is return 3 cards from your memory to your hand at the beginning of the end phase. Whenever you gain agility, unless your allies you control named Ominous Shadow get +1. Yeah. So it's an Ominous Shadow build. I was like, okay. Cool. Whenever an ally dies, deal 1 damage to target champion you don't control and recover 1. Interesting. Okay. So this one deals with, keeping yourself alive. That's cool. Put Creeping Torment. This is a Diana card where whenever you draw a second card each turn, deal 2 unpreventable damage to this object. So it's like, yeah, it's a Diana thing. I'm aware of this. I'm like, okay. Banish an Amber and Ash from your material deck. On enter, if banished card was an Astral element, destroy up to 1 target Fantasia. If it was an Umbra, Dusklight Communion gains champions get -1 level. Huh. Interesting. I don't think I'll be able to use this. The gears are turning in trying to understand why you would ever use this as a Dusk. Sorry, not Dusk, Umbra. Because then your champion gets -1 level. As Astra though, it's great because you could just destroy a target Fantasia. This one is a card against our deck that we're trying to build. Revealing Mesmer, each champion loses spell shroud and change the target of an activation or trigger that targets a Fantasia you control to revealing Mesmer. This one actually may or may not. This one might be a side deck thing where we want to protect our suffocating miasma actually. Just because like this one is the one doing the whole destroyed ally. So we have a board control is what I'm seeing, where we could kill the allies, but do we have an attack of our own? Not quite yet, right? So now, so I'm still looking for something that'll go really well with that. You may reveal 3 advanced element cards from your material deck. If you do, wait to court gains first advanced element card each player activates this turn costs 2 more to activate. Oh yeah, I like this card because it's a little funny. it's a little funny. So unstable fractal. Sacrifice it as a spell, destroy one target item with memory cost 0 or reserve cost 5 or less. So this is interesting. This is a fun card because it's like memory cost 0 is the usual, but then reserve cost 5 or less is pretty strong compared to some of the other destroying cards that are, the destroy target item that I've seen. But it's an item. It's target item. It's not like object, which is the sad part. Fractal of Insight. You may rest if you do glimpse 2. Fractal of Insight is always a strong fractal. Fantasia. I don't want to deal with cardistry. I don't want to deal with chessmen either. Maybe. I don't know. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm good. As long as you have 3 or more omens with different reserve costs. Whenever an opponent activates a card with the same reserve cost as this omen, recover 1 and deal 1 damage to their target champion. That's such bullshit. But, Sacrifices unentered. Sidelight gets +1. So now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this is where I go, man, no wonder this is 99 99 hipster rating. It doesn't synergize with anything. It doesn't synergize with anything. Like, these all synergize with each other, but not with anything else outside of it, right? I'm like, not with that attitude. That's crazy. Asphodel Trust. wait, Asphodel. What's it? I don't remember. You know, I think we will go with like Tristan. I think we will go with Tristan because Tristan is a Tristan or Diana. Hmm. Just because Tristan will definitely have allies on the board, and then the enemy will always want to put allies out as well. I mean, Alice, yeah, she exists. Um, Alice has access to internet sooner. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like Alice, yeah, because she not internet but Umbra. She can go to Umbra sooner, which is the one thing. The thing with Alice is that you do have to wait. Sorry, I'm gonna put to put my taro milk. Umbra equals internet is a new lore. That's so funny. And then if I want to use Haniel, I do need a decent amount of Umbra cards, which is why yes, Alice makes sense. But I'm gonna look at Tristan. I don't want to like. I mean, when I make my decks, I'm obviously not consulting chat about it, you know. So I usually don't get swayed by external factors. So I'm gonna still keep going with my train of thought. What I do is I look at each champion and their skills. For example, level 3 Tristan Shadow Reaver. Tristan can level up into a champion of the same base level, and when she does, she draws 2 cards. So this is the Tristan where she could kind of like flip flop between being being Tristan Shadow Dancer and and Shadow Weaver. And then on enter, summon 2 ominous shadow tokens and put a pep counter on Tristan. Remove 2 prep counters of Tristan and change the target and attack that targets Tristan to a Fantasia ally you control. So that's another thing. Her ominous shadows are technically Fantasias as well. Which ominous shadows. Oh, are they technically tokens? Ominous shadows. Final Domin, thank you so much for gifting 2 memberships. Thank you so much. So she is a Fantasia. The Miasma is a Fantasia. We could actually do Fantasia maxing with Tristan. So we add her, right? So we get the ominous shadow. We do this combo and then we do the D level. Wait, I need to take out all my filters. Show all. Oops. What was the de-leveling card? It had Sylvie on it, I believe. What's it called de-level? Is it a specific element? Oh, is it wind? Ah, shoot. Hold on. Yeah. Innovate Trio. Oh, never, okay. Hold on. I forgot to set back the. There we go. Because I still haven't decided on a normal, on a basic element yet. So, Innervate. Yeah, the Innervate Trio. Oh yeah, so I did have Sylvie on it. I just remembered the water one. So we could do with and recover 5. So this one recover. I think they all do the same exact thing, right? Oh wait, no, they don't. So this one, units you control gain your choice of stealth or spell shroud until end of turn. For Innervate Knowledge, you draw 2 cards, and then for Innervate Fury, you deal 7 damage split among any amount of target allies. That's kind of interesting. Okay, I'm actually gonna put all 3 in my deck just to keep these in mind, right? Just because I'm like, okay, this is something I want to work with. So I just put all 3. I don't choose my element yet, and then I do. Okay, what are the funny things I can do with Fantasias? For example, Fantasia allies you control get +1 until end of turn. You get the agility 3 for this turn. This is great, right? We're obviously going to use that. But let's look at the elements now. Fire does not do anything with Fantasias except this one, which is Kindle 3. Deal 1 plus X damage to target champion, where X is the amount of Fantasias you control. You know, but this is a class bonus for Kindle 3, so we can't do the kindling part. It is still +1 plus X damage, right? But let's look at all the options wind and water gives us. So this is this is the Pantheon deck building method, tried and true. Honestly, I've been doing this before Pantheon was announced, so I've just been building Pantheon decks this whole time. This whole time, I've just been building Pantheon decks, not actual standard format decks. Allegedly, a natural booner. Yeah, I'm just a natural booner. Okay, this is Jet. Destroy target Fantasia. We don't want that. Destroy target Fantasia. We don't want that. This is a floating memory, though. Okay. This also destroys target Fantasias. These are all destroying Fantasias. Yep. The Fantasia haze reel. So this one is a ephemerate. This one is Oh yeah, Vertigus Degree. Vertigus Degree is really nice. But these are all Fantasia destroying. Deal X damage to target unit where X is the amount of Fantasia you control. Okay, so this is Shimmering Refraction is basically Glowering Conflagration, but normal. Cool. And then wait, where's the Oh wait, but this is Fractals. No, Fantasias. Okay. There is like the fractal card of water where you could do the amount of damage based on how many fractals you control, but we don't have fractals. We have Fantasias. So let's see. Interesting. Target attacking ally gets -2 until end of turn. If you control 2 or more Fantasias, that ally gets -4 until end of turn. Then that ally may potentially just die. Okay. Interesting to keep in mind, right? Look at the tougher cards. You may view the Fantasia card from among them and put them into your memory. Put the rest on the bottom of the... I don't know if I want that. Negate target card activation unless it's control pays X, where X is the amount of Fantasias you control. But oh, this is so funny. Okay, well, if I were to go water, these two would be super funny. Let's look at, you know, as long as you control 2 or more Fantasia. Oh wait, this is banned. This is a banned card. This is Dissonant Fractal because it's way too strong. So because it's just 1 cost Glyphs 4, super strong, and it's a reservable. Nah, wait, it does way too much for just 1 cost. Okay, let's see. Fantasia allies you control gets +2 until end of... Oh, okay. Evanescent Winds goes really well with Tristan's Ominous Shadows. So we're gonna add that just to be just to keep that in mind. Up to each 2 Fantasias you control. Okay, and she's a Fantasia ally. Huh. Whenever you target a card from your memory, put a... So with like Arrow Trap? Was it Arrow Trap that, or Stifling Trap? What, something. That I think you could activate from your memory. Interesting. So we could go Fantasia allies. Banish, and return it to the owner's field, rest it into his field with additional buff. So with Wind, it seems like you don't necessarily work with just Fantasia. You work with Fantasia allies, which is basically Tristan in a nutshell. Huh. But with water, it's just straight up just Fantasias. Hmm. I actually like a madman tested to win Fantasia Alex Diao Chen. Don't ask how it went. That sounds fun. I think that's fun. Because like she also works with fractals, right? Fantasias and fractals. But the thing with wins is that it's specifically Fantasia allies, and so it doesn't synergize with the rest of the Fantasias or like fractals, is what I'm getting from these. And so I kind of want to be able to, be able to use the other cards. So this card costs select to activate if you're a cleric, so it'll still be 4 if we use it. As Jian Yu enters the field, choose a card name. Cards with that chosen name cost 2 plus X more to activate, where X is the amount of Fantasias you control. It's so funny. That's so funny. So, yeah, I think I might go with what? I'm like thinking, do I just go with water? Or the other option, like wind, it's like made for Tristan, right? Everything about wind is made for Tristan, is what I'm reading. But are we just going down the normal route then? Because then I'm like, there's a fire where it's like at 1 plus X damage to target champion. You could, it doesn't even say, like, I guess intercept would work. But I'm wondering if taunt, because taunt, this is a spell, right? Would taunt work for this? I think intercept definitely works, but I don't know the rules enough to see. I'm pretty new, like I'm pretty casual with Grand Archive, so I don't know these nitty gritty rules, which is a problem. So sometimes I will ask people. No. So taunt wouldn't work. I'm thinking taunt wouldn't work because it's spell. So and it's like it specific taunt, and it just does specify attack. Judge here. Oh my god, Tata, you're a judge. Oh, okay. So this one directly hits a champion. So you don't have to bother with the allies, and like the allies need to be are going to be destroyed anyways with all the debuffs. So Glowering Conflagration is kind of funny. Glowering Conflagration is kind of funny. And then we could just use Shimmering Refraction on top, where it's more target unit, where X is the amount of Fantasias you control as well. And then everything else we do is just all allies. So remove this from deck, remove this from deck, we do this. Remove all the rest of these from decks. And now we have a little funny deck, right? It's like, yes, I believe I saw the line of which people are meant to play Tristan, which is win Tristan with the Fantasia allies and agility, all of that jazz. Sadie with like the what's that fog that removes all allies from the field. But like, isn't this kind of funny? Where you could be like, yes, what you expected is a wind ally Tristan. But what I'm gonna do is get out all my Fantasias and smack you directly. Wind is also where 99% of prep counters come from. Yeah. I'm like, do fire even do prep? Hold on. Oops. I mean, we have accept. We have a 5 cost accepted. We're never gonna be able to play that, but we have some options. Okay. On attack, you may remove up to 3 prep. Oh wait, we need something that adds prep counters. Prepare 1. No, we need stuff that adds prep counters. Do it for the climb. Remove. Wait. Okay, that's Merlin. Okay, okay, okay. Deal one damage to target unit and put a prep counter on your champion. Okay, okay. There's a prep counter there. One. Yeah, definitely. I know there's normal cards that give this one. Wait, are you talking about this one? No, you're talking about this one, right? Yeah, this one I know. It gives a prep counter. You know what else gives prep counters? Fucking unicorn, dreamy unicorn right here. She's the goat. I love her. Let's see, and then prepare one. No, there's this one also gives prep counters. The Dormouse Informant. It's kind of expensive though, but so I would prefer not to use that one. She's great though. She has intercept, and on death she puts a prep counter. She's vastly superior in my opinion. Let's see. Uh, can't be retaliated by human allies. On ally hit, if the ally hit is human, you may remove a prep counter from your. Oh wait, it's remove. If you do destroy an ally, hmm, you may remove a prep counter. No. If it double the amount of prep counters on your champion, then if there are 8 or more prep counters on your this turn, gain agility 3 for this turn. Honestly, I'm just adding it just to think about it. Just to think about it. Up to 3. 3. Oh, this one. I remember this one because this was one of the cards that we were thinking of using for Modest Archive. We thought about it. We thought about it. Yeah, it is definitely a card that exists on the hipster list. I am quite aware of that one. Recover 2, then draw a card. If your champion has 4 or more prep counters on it, summon an ominous shadow token. Oh, ominous shadow token. We'll add that. Remove X, where next would be prevent the next if X is 3 or greater, summon 2 ominous shadow tokens. Add that to the list. Put up grip counter on your champion. Wait, glimpse 2 and put. I'll think about it. If it's not your turn, you may remove a prep counter from your champion to activate this card from your memory without paying its reserve cost. Deal 2 damage to target attacking. Interesting. Interesting. Oh god, staggering strike. Remove 3 prep counters from the hit champion. Good thing we have Dreamy Unicorn. Kohaya, hello, welcome. Ooh, prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to target unit this turn, and then put class bonus, put a prep counter on your champion. I like that. This one, the thieving cut. Oh man, I remember I remember this got an alt art, and I fucking love this alt art because it's so silly. Like this card, this art always makes me giggle because it's just like they're out in the open. It's broad daylight. He's just crouching and looking at this guy's ass, and then just like swing with all the gold, and it's gonna drop onto the floor because like he doesn't even have a bag hold. It's just his hand. So he's just that good at it. He's stealing from a man of cloth too. I know. And then he's stealing from a man of cloth too. And yeah, I'm just like he's in dark ass clothing in broad daylight. He's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. It's so it's so silly. I love this card. It's getting another alt art. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, this guy's stealth is at 100%. You can't see him. Even if it's like pitch black attire in broad like midday sunlight. You still can't see him. Stealth 0, 0. So anyways, we got a little distracted. Oh yeah, this one. As long as an opponent controls 3 or more units, this card costs 2 less to activate. Ooh, this is a side card. Gorilla Advantage. I would say. Did I spell it wrong? I did. I don't even know how I spelled it. This card took like a month to leave unplayed. No. Please, it's a sideboard for me. Anyways, I'm gonna put it in my sideboard. We'll see. But let's see, what's this? Cunning Broker. Remove two? You want to remove two? When Thieving Cut is remove one? To draw a card? You want me to remove two? No. Nah. Is he in the hipster? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Oh. Extraction Incision. Oh, actually, this reminds me. What's the Incap. we gotta put Incap in our deck. Incap is just say like, you know, I'm just like, you know, we have a lot of things but that are kind of like reactive, for example, you know. So this is a slow, but like the opponent can react, right? So we could negate target action card activation, which would count for like, you know, spells or like skills or reactions. So Incap is just a really good thing to protect yourself, and it's just a very stable card to keep. Even if you're not an assassin, but if you're an assassin, it's just a no-brainer. Just because, like, if you're not going water, you're not gonna be able to negate, and if you're not gonna be able to negate, you're just prone to any sort of like disruption from the from the opponent. So, wait, the deck isn't legal. This main deck is not legal for standard, just because I only have 27 cards. Don't worry about the standard. The deck isn't legal because it doesn't count as legal until I have 60 cards. Yeah, it doesn't count as a minimum. That's the only reason why. Because I just put one of each. I think this should be allowed. If I put 4 of each, it'll immediately become legal. But anyways, I do want a lot of Dreamy Unicorns because she will protect me. And then I can perhaps put buffs on her, I think. But let's see. This one, yeah, I'm gonna leave at 1 for now. And then, do level your champion, recover 5. Oh yeah. This one is funny. This one is our, you know, attack. Like 1+X, and then we just like wait until we ominous shadow the shit out of things. And then, okay. Wait, reset. And then we're gonna put Tristan. Okay, so Tristan does have 2 level 2s. On hit, you may remove 3 prep counters. If you do, destroy hit ally at the beginning of your end phase. If Tristan is awake, put a prep counter on Tristan. And then we have, if Tristan has 2 or more prep counters on her, draw a card. If Tristan has 4 more prep counters on her, draw an additional. This is vastly better. Well, this is the vastly more popular of the version because, you know, draw mechanism is always popular. This one is kind of doing what we're already doing without the need for 3 prep counters, and then we could attack with Tristan without being like, oh, but if I don't, then I could put a prep counter on Tristan, you know. I hear drawing cards wins games. Yes, was wonderful for Xander. Oh yeah. That would be, yeah. But anyways, we add our level 1, and then we will add our level 2, because we want to save our, I personally want to save my prep counters in order to do all of these, you know, all of her fun stuff with, when she turns Umbra, of being able to change the target of an attack that targets just into a Fantasia ally you control, or just like pop out more ominous shadows, which is or like prevent more damage. Yeah, so I want to be able to pop out ominous shadows, which Shadow Resonance is a great one to do that. So I'm gonna put this up here. What's this again? This is such a funny card. Wait, hold on. How much? Okay, they have 4. That's pretty good because most, if we have 3 on the board, most allies would just immediately die as soon as they're on the board. Anyways, so that's something funny. Fantasia allies you control gets +1 on agility. This one I'm not I'm not going to be super defensive, I think, most likely. But you wouldn't hurt Fluffy Shopkeep, would you? Yeah, the Ominous Shadow ability makes it functionally a lot more than 4. It's super nice because like there's basically, if damage will be dealt to Ominous Shadow, prevent 3 of that damage. Unfortunately, this one kind of like overrides that because it doesn't matter. It's not a damage being done. They just straight up have -1 health. So if we have 4 on them, they just immediately die. I think it would just be like, yeah, unless we have buffs on them immediately as soon as they're on the board. Which I'm still not sure. Would this trigger before or after? Oh, I think a buff should count. If there's a thing where, oh wait, no, because when you activate it and then there's another Fantasia on the board that would give your allies a +1 health, I guess you could choose in that sense. It'll negate each other just for your side. Yeah, it's not a triggered ability, so it just inherently has -1. So we would need a buff. Won't work because a buff goes on top after the ally is on the field. So we would need another Fantasia on the board that gives us, or like a domain that would give our allies +1 health. or another ally that gives other allies +1 health. For them to stay on the board. Is this really convoluted? Yes. But am I having fun? Yes. So that's how I go about this thing. Just never play the 4th. Exactly. Just never have a 4th. Just have 3 in my deck. So that way I never go up to 4 even in my hand, you know? So that way I could be towing the line but never fully committing to killing my own Ominous Shadows. Exactly. So there's that. This essentially is a board wipe without being like a cleave. So that's something. We're here to have fun. So that's something. And then, but then like I'm like, this doesn't go hand in hand with like Manifest Threat and Suffocating Miasma, but you know what? It's fine. But if we put a debuff and then there's already debuffed with the HP, they're just immediately gonna die. Or if they're like a beefy one, they'll just immediately die with Manifest Threat. So honestly, this will take care of any low HP allies, and then this combo will take care of any beefy allies. Okay, so we got that, and then this incap is to deal with any active hate against us. And then with all of that, the rest we just have to focus on is how's Unicorn? She's gonna die. By the time Unicorn is dead, she would have made up for the incap. Like she would have intercepted. She would have died and put a prep counter. It's all Gucci. She would have done her job by this point. By the time more than 2 is out, I'm sure she would have done all of what she is supposed to do. And then if we put her out on the field, we immediately get a prep counter. Because she's immediately gonna die. Yeah. So Hania though, I think is gonna this is starting to become a little bit of a weak option. So Hania is starting to go a little lower on that track. So let's see. Scorching Trap. If it's not your turn, you may move account to activate this card from your memory without paying its reserve cost. Deal 2 damage to target attacking unit. This I think is pretty good because it's flexible. Like I could just keep it in my hand and pay 1 and do 2 damage. Because if we have even like 1 or 2 of these out, the opponent ally is gonna be super low anyways. So this might actually just tap a unit out, and if we have 2, we could spend 1, do this, take a prep counter, and spend the other one that we just paid to spend 1 of this, and do 4 in total if we want to. That's something that we have the option of doing. So that's fun. And then oh yeah, this I think is very good. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So this is 15 cards of Umbra, which is a decent amount. Actually, we haven't looked at any of the Umbra cards. Hold on. We haven't looked at any of the other ones. Like for example, Curtain of Shadows. Summon X ominous shadow tokens where X is the amount of preparation counters on your champion. For the rest of the game, allies named ominous shadows you control get +1 and have on hit put a preparation counter. So this one immediately. Yeah, 15 is pretty high already, which is why I'm like, we need to look at all the other Umbra cards. This one's starting to go low. Okay. And then we have Chasing Shadows. You gain 3 agility whenever your ally whenever you gain agility, allies you control. This one. We'll see. Draw a card, then put a prep counter on your champion. If you have agility, put 3 or more prep counters on your champion. So this one would go really well with this one, where you gain agility 3, and then you use Sinister Composure to gain 3 prep counters as a combo. But that's 2 card slots, right? So that's a lot. Target attacking ally gets -5 attack until the end of turn. If visceral inversion is oh wait, that's an Alice card. This one. These are all CL. This one doesn't have anything. If you have 5 or more, okay, yeah, it's CL. So when I obviously like looking at these, I could see that like, okay, class bonus is a ranger, class bonus, or like there's a bonus, it's probably CL or a class, which I can't use. But when I see like, even if I know this one's a CL card, if it doesn't have any class bonus, I just double check and then make sure that it's something that I really can't use, and then I close it. So that way, I just look at all the options that I have without kind of like assuming that I won't be able to use it. Even though sometimes, you know, for example, in cap, I may accidentally assume that I can't use it if I'm not an assassin. You very much can use it even if you're not an assassin. So it's not a good way to do it, but it's a way that I do it just to like not be overwhelmed, because sometimes there's a lot of cards, you know, and I don't know all the cards. And so sometimes I just have to narrow down my options without getting overwhelmed. And that's my quick way of getting going about it. And then once I start being, you know, getting more acquainted with all of the cards, I'm sure I'll start being able to, like, you know, be able to look at the other cards and be like, oh, wait, I don't need to worry about the class bonus for this. It's still an excellent card that I could use in any other deck. Yeah, but this this game does have over 3,000 cards, so it's a lot. Prepare 3, a final stroke is prepared, and there are 20 or more damage counters on hit champion. Destroy the hit champion. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Getting overwhelmed by cards is real. Exactly. So I'm just trying to be like, okay, well, this is obviously a curse. I don't have to worry about. But then when I see, oh, Tristan's on the card, obviously it's for Tristan. Final stroke is a funny. I agree. This is a funny card. Do I want it in my deck though? I'm not sure. So yeah, we'll see. And then it's like, okay, Hunting Demise. Champion hit, put Hunting Demise on the bottom of hit champion's lineage. At the beginning of our collection phase, deal. Oh, this is a curse. I never seen anyone use a Tristan curse deck. Interesting. I've never seen anyone do that. This card costs 1 less to activate. Your champion gains stealth until end of turn unless the opponent pays 2. And then summon an ominous shadow token. This is interesting. I like this more than this. But then it does allow me to summon 2 ominous shadows. So I'm just gonna put these 2 on the bottom and see if I want to entertain those things. I just shadow check Sham to be an archetype. Wait, what? Huh. Wait, hold up. On it, put the looping ground spot up in the. Oh yeah, so this is okay. So there is very much a Cursed Tristan deck out there that I've never seen anyone play. And if an ally dies, deal 1 damage to target champion you don't control and recover 1. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait, that's. I love the final strike. The stroke does like nothing to Jin. Oh yeah, this does nothing to Jin. If you're going up against Jin, yeah, it does nothing. Because Jin is immortal. You can't destroy it, right? Anyway. Next attack is +2. If device conspiracy was prepared until end of your turn, a target champion and allies you control name ominous shadow on champion hit. Banish the top card of your player's deck. As long as that is banished, you may play it ignoring its. Oh, this is such a funny card. This is such a funny. You can't stroke off Jin. That's. Oh my god. Oh no. You can't stroke off Jin. Is so. Amazing. Devastating. Their words, not mine, but you repeated it. But anyways, device conspiracy is funny because you ignore elemental requirements. And then you could play your opponent's Spanish cards. I unfortunately, this is too giga brain for me to be able to put into my deck comfortably. But you know, in top like competitive plays, I think this would be like absolute detrimental to like really high level games. For me though, I'll probably misplay this like crazy. Please, I'm listening to this while running ahead and stop and do a double dance. Yes, the stroking of Jin. The dream is dead. I'm sorry, Jin. Okay. Alright. I'll kill you again. Agility 3 for this turn. Oh, okay, so another agility based. As long as you have agility, Hexbound gets +4. Put Hexbound on the bottom of target champion's lineage. You know, Cursed Tristan would be fun to play. I think Cursed Tristan would be fun to build, but that's not what we're building right now. But when I'm building decks, so I do keep these things in mind, and I'm like, okay, in the future, I want to try building a Cursed Tristan deck. I never see it played, so I never knew the archetype existed, right? But it does. There's cards for it, and I could see it working with agility and like curses, and like, you know. It works. It just no one ever plays it. That's why I have 6 decks right now. Exactly. So yeah. No, exactly. Like stealing your opponent's card, it's about them losing their win con card possibly, right? So it's just like the opponent doesn't get the cards that they need, and then honestly, yeah, I guess in that sense you don't even need to play it. Yeah, that's true. But like the fact that you kind of cock block them from potentially a win con like card, it's very high level play. Still, I don't know if I could pull it off. Because you know, for people that like keep track of like, okay, their win condition is, for example, is like Arcane Blast, and they already have 3 in graveyard. I could potentially devise Conspiracy, the last Arcane Blast or whatever, and then they wouldn't be able to win, you know. But will I be keeping count? Probably not. When you start chat blind, laughs the Guoja player that day. Oh, damn. Blinding Labs. Wait, which one is that? Mm. Sorry, this is like making sounds. My taro flavored milk. Wait, Revenant's Gorge. If there are one or more curse cards in the hit champion's lineage, wake up the attacker and draw a card. Hello? Curse Tristan sounds funny. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay. Wait. I don't think I looked at the allies. Summon an ominous shadow and recover 3. Ooh, okay. She doesn't work with us though, because she only has 1 HP. She'll immediately die once she's on the field. as soon as she's on the field, she's dead. And yeah, her thing is on death, but like, I guess it's like a fast cure without the requirements. And then we also summon an ominous. No. We don't need it. We don't need it. But anyways, but it's on death. It's like a free token. It's a free token and a free recover. I mean, you know, okay. We'll keep it in mind. You know, I like this. I like this siphoning fractal because it's a reservable and it's a Fantasia. This one goes straight to the top. This one goes straight to the top. Okay. But now we're starting to have an issue where we have too many Umbra cards, right? This one, I feel like we need this. I think this one, we need this. We need this. We need this. This one is just funny. This one, draw 2, then recover 2, then draw a card. If your champion has 4 more purple counters, some. Ooh. Like, I think this is the one that I'm least. Like, this one makes sense, right? This card makes absolute sense to have because it's like I'm going Fantasia ally maxing and they all get +1 until end of turn. You gain through agility. Agility is a super strong skill to have. And then you summon an ominous shadow. It just makes sense. But also I want these more than this one, which is probably speaking to my lack of skills when it comes to piloting a deck, but the other cards speak to me more than this one, even though I'm just like, it makes more sense. I think this one might be the weaker one. This one honestly might be the weaker card. Like, I feel like it's I just need to keep this one. Yeah, this might actually, I don't think we need this, especially if we if we end up doing this one. Especially if we do that one. But anyways, we need to keep 4 of this. So now we do have a lot. I want it though. It's so funny. I want it. It's not even. Yeah. Okay. Nope. Okay. We're doing this. We are keeping it like this. Yeah. I think this is good. And then now we start having a deck, right? We are at 52 cards, but a lot of these are at 1. Oh, obviously we keep this at 4 because this is the card that we based our deck around. Is this a smart way to make decks? No. Obviously not. But is this a fun way to make decks? I think so. So this is why I did the stream, because like, yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed by like, what's the meta? You have to keep in mind like, like duality, like we have to think about all of the like Cheshire plays. You have to think about how people go for like the really fast aggro, like, yeah, it's a lot, and I'm like, I don't know how to play against those. I don't know how to play against those. So then I'm like, I get really like locked in terms of building a deck. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna have fun with it. So it's the correct deck building method. I don't know what the correct deck building method is, but this is just the method that works for me. Oh yeah, a main got banned. Sorry. uh, so for me, this is a more fun way. And then once I use the deck and play against someone, then I can start adjusting. But in order to get over the first hurdle of like, oh, but I don't know the game enough to be able to make a deck. This is how I sort of started doing things, where I'm a really bad pilot. Like I or like I find I get anxiety piloting decks, to be honest. So I like building decks way more or thinking about mechanics way more than like actually actively taking part inside of mechanics, which is bad because I don't know a lot of the nitty gritty rules. But this is where I have a lot of fun in, So that's why I still want to enjoy Grand Archive in that sense without putting myself through the anxiety of playing the decks half the time. But obviously, that's why sometimes I'll play with like really close friends, but I will not play like I went to locals at some point, but I after a while it was just so bad for my heart. Also, on top of like logistics of going there and parking, blah blah blah. But like most of it, I was just like, I get so like my palms are always sweaty. That I'm like, am I really enjoying it? I don't know. Like yeah, I enjoy it when I'm playing it, but like also I go through so much emotionally. So that's why I was like, this was like not. I didn't put in a lot of the effort to keep going to locals, which yeah, it's bad on me, but playing in person is so scary. I keep right, same. Like I keep fumbling, and like the first time I played, I like literally cried. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I was just like, So this is my way of enjoying Grand Archive. Maybe not the traditional way of enjoying Grand Archive, like playing, but there are like collectors who don't really play. They like enjoy a TCG, and that's a legit way of enjoying a TCG. I collect as well, but building a deck and talking about the mechanics is really enjoyable for me versus actually playing it. So I think that's another way of enjoying a card game, So that's what I like to do. And so this is how I build decks. So now we go into the nitty gritty, right? Obviously I want Conflagration. Obviously I want Innervate Fairy, and then I want I think Scorching Trap is really good. So this one, I'm actually not sure. Shimmering Refraction, I kind of like. I'll put it at 3, right? Mark target, put a prep counter on your champion. This one, oh, it is 1. We don't have that much floating mem though, which is one thing. We have like 1 we have our 1 from this. So I would like another set of floating memory if I can. So we put in floating memory. Obviously, I'm just showing Umbra. So let's put not Exia Fire. Select those and we look, and then I'm like, okay, what can we do to help us with what we're doing and give us floating them? Honestly, Angelic Channeling. Honestly. Angelic Channel. This is really expensive deck. So who needs floating if you have a lot of cards? I don't think I have a lot of cards. Not gonna lie. I don't think I have a lot of cards. How's that budget going? Ooh. Actually, I can't tell until I like press the create save button. Let's see. Deadly Opportunity gets +3 as long as the attacking arrested ally. Reposition. Wait, no, hold on. Temper Steel. I'm just kidding. Horse, but that's a tamer. Preferably a non-class bonus locked card would be great. Preferably. Let's see. Is there one that's like a Fantasia, actually? Let's check. there is. There is actually. Huh. I mean, you know, Shinja, I think his pack openings are probably bigger than something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That budget. No. The people's entire collection. Yeah, Shinja's pack openings are bigger than yeah, more yeah, they are. I think he's opened more cases in one go than like people have opened in their entire lives, which is crazy. But anyways, Maiden of Shimmering Air? Yeah. Honestly, she is a Fantasia. She does work, and it's just a floating memory without any like restrictions. We'll see. We'll see. Honestly, not the strongest candidate, but definitely a candidate. Like angelic channeling might be the second strongest, but angelic channeling is a very expensive card. It's like $100. Oh, Sable Remnant. Sable Remnant is sure is a floating mem. You know, like honestly, more than I would still go for Maiden of Shimmering Air rather than Sable Remnant because it's like 2-1 versus 1-2. Hello, what am I building? I'm building a silly deck, but I'm building a deck just to go through like how I go about building a deck. That's very beginner friendly, in my opinion. But it's not really something that probably people who actively compete would do. It's probably still like, you know, people who compete would probably not do it in this manner. But I think it's a very easy way to kind of just get into the flow of things, of like breaking their first deck creation wall. Each player draws a card plus 1 levels of honest. Oh, you know what we don't have that would help us a lot? What? Actually, no. I was thinking that we don't have Creative Shock that would help us a lot, but I know we should still put Creative Shock. I was like, we should probably still put Creative Shock, but you know, Angelic on my way, angels. Oh god, please put creative. Well, she's there. She's in there now. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, Creative Shock is in there now. We must go with the flow of things. We must go with the meta of always putting Creative Shock in any fire deck. Every single fire deck. When code deck builds, I'm sweating. Yeah, when I build decks, Shoku sweats because the way I build is so so how would you describe it, Shoku? Yeah, this is also a 1-2, but she's like, it's not even a Fantasia. Ko, you can put my daughter in the deck. Cold Rising Seraphim. Oh, honestly, Cauterizing the Seraphim is an interesting card because it's an advanced X imbue, and then if she's imbue, deal X damage to all other normal and basic element allies. So she will kill everyone on your side too if they have less than 4 HP if you imbue 4. Again, aneurysm? Yoshoku, you get an aneurysm when I'm building decks? What the fuck? That's crazy. Shoku's playing GA while Ko is playing 4D chess. So yeah, my deck creation may be a little off like the norm. No, that's a guardian. This one is assassin. eh. For 2 plus, what's this? Oh, it's a preserve thing. Ally warrior, put a buff counter on target animal or beast. I don't think I have any animal. Actually, let's check. Do we have any animal or beast? Nope. We do have Dormouse informant. But anyways, is ain't no, not an animal. Flash a song of Frosty Shoku to make her nervous. Put Mercurial Heart in the best of my. I am unironically put Mercurial Heart in my decks. Okay, don't even. I have put Mercurial Heart in my decks unironically. Actually, Dreamy Unicorn is also an animal. The only allies we have is Dreamy Unicorn, Dormouse Informant, and potentially Maiden of Shimmering Air. What if? What if we just feed yours? It's so expensive. It's 3 cost. Wait. Do you only play Grand Archive? Yes, I have only ever played Grand Archive as a TCG, like more than just a fleeting flirt with the TCG. So I have played like a few games of Vanguard, right? Like 3 maybe. I have played a single game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have played like 2-3 games of Shadowverse, for example, but and like Pokemon Pokemon TCG Pokemon TCG well, anyways, that one a handful of times, but I never actually actively really played it too much, so it never really stuck with me. But Grand Archive is the longest one that I've stuck with. Imagine if she deck builds in other TCGs. Let's get go. No, I can only handle one TCG. None of those. I've tried none of those. I've never tried. I know of all of those, like One Piece, Gundam, Earthbound, Digimon, Union Arena, Cookie Run. No, I've never. I have no. Obviously, Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, that those two as well. But I never touched those as either. So that's why I say this is very, very much for beginners who are a little overwhelmed or stuck with deck building. But you should try out TCG. With what time and money do you play all of the TCG that you've picked up? Do you? With what time? What money? Online clients. Okay, online clients, yes. That's why I played Shadowverse, for example, right? So, anyways, let's get back. Okay, we do. Okay, before Shofu gets an aneurysm, we will put Creative Shock up here. Okay, there, Shoku. You're happy. Haniel is starting to get lower and lower. This one is a sideboard, I think. Honestly, I think having 2 of her is pretty good. Having 2 of her is good. Thomas. I don't know, we remove her. It's fine. Let me do this. I don't think we'll ever be able to use that one, to be honest. We remove these ones. I don't think I don't think we need to cauterizing surf. I could be wrong. Oh no, because Haniel is our way of getting Divas before we turn Umbra. But cauterizing Seraphim. I think we remove her. Debatable. Honestly, Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Is Tristan? Is this Tristan a better one for us? Because we're not attacking with Tristan. Hmm. Is she? I gotta think about this real fast. I gotta think about this. Honestly, I might put this one in the sideboard. Just to, you know, because I'm starting to feel like that's a real big possibility that the other Tristan might potentially. Because okay, because if we want to level, we also need uh dungeon guide. Actually, wait, hold on. Dungeon guide. Because the Radiant Origins, they're difficult. Whenever you activate a prep card, put a training counter on Radiant Origins. So we need to use the prep counters, and in order to do that, we and then you have to spend 5, and only activate this if there are 4 or more training counters on Radiant Origins. So we need to activate a prepped card 4 times, and then pay 5. To level up a champion. Like, I really want these Radiant Origins to work. But I don't quite see it working right now. Especially because, like, yeah, they're too slow. I guess maybe they work in Pantheon? I'm not sure. I haven't played Pantheon enough to know, but like, they really are not working in standard play from what I can tell, because they just take so long. And like, we don't even have prepped cards in our normal, so we have like all of our prep counters are kind of here. And then Scorching Trap, you know, but it's not even a prepared card at this point, so might not be fast enough for standard, but it's fast enough for modest. Maybe. No, because like, again, Dungeon Guide is really cheap now because Merlin Recollection came with a full Dungeon Guide set. So I think the cost of sorry, did I say Merlin? Mordred Recollection came out with a full playset of Dungeon Guide, and Dungeon Guide does get a decent amount of like reprints, just because they're so heavily used. Like, I spent $25 to buy Dungeon Guides. Now they're $7. They barely work in Pantheon because you have so many cards that generate the resource they want. That's so true. Yeah, Radiant Origins are just so niche. I really want them to work, but they're just so slow. And at that point, you might as well spend that like item slot or card slot on just Dungeon Guide. I really want them to work, but unfortunately, I feel like Dungeon Guide is just the better option. Why, they gotta cost 3 to cast, man, and then more to level, right? Like, they cost 3 to be able to put down on the field, and then 5 for like assassin. I think it's different for you. Yeah, there's 4 3 4 3, so like you have to play more cards just to be able to like activate the ability. This is consented to sell my Radiant Origin Cleric foil, but no, are you too cute? Oh, rip. So now we have 67 cards. So we are 7 cards over, and we didn't even do like all of this where we're like, okay, let's have more Dorm Informant, and then because of that, Feed Nourishment works. Unfortunately, that doesn't really work because we are now at 73 cards, and then she is not an animal. So, unfortunately, these two just work. This just does not work. It's not worth it. Um, yeah. As much as I want it to be worth it, it's not worth it. This, I don't think we need this. To be honest, I feel like the other stuff is better. Like for example, just draw a card, then put pepper counter on your thing, and then sacrifice a card. Ally, we could sacrifice Dreamy Unicorn, in which case, it's a fast. So once Dreamy Unicorn is about to die, we could just sacrifice, and that still triggers the on death, right? Yeah. Yes. Yes. So then this one just makes better sense. In my opinion, like this sort of combo. Is there a resource in this game? Extra deck, bench? Yep, there are sideboards, so you could just put stuff in the sideboard for like switching out into your main deck. There's resources like tokens which you generate, and then there's actual generated cards. There is material deck which you materialize like once per round, like your turn. So material deck counts as a side deck. I guess it depends on what other TCG you're mentioning, like what the equivalent would be, because there is a side deck which you, when you're in a tournament and you're using your deck, but you want to change like a few cards, then you could switch out cards from your main like material or main decks into with your side deck. Which side deck you have like 15 points. So it's like a material deck is an extra deck, and then there's a main deck, and then there's a sideboard which you don't touch during the game. And then if you're talking about resources in terms of like being able to play your cards are your resources. So you spend your other cards in order to play a card. So when you say resources, I think of like what you pay in order to activate these cards, in which case it's your hand. So that's why drawing is really, really, really powerful in this card game. I mean, I think it's a case for like any card game where resource generation is always king, right? That's why Black Lotus is banned, for example, because it generates 3 mana. I think something like that. So there's no draw 3 in Grand Archive. Draw 2 is very powerful. Yeah, that's right. Crux is fun. Yeah. So in Grand Archive, because your hand is your resource, and then having a bigger hand just means having all of your combos in your plan, right? So drawing is just acts double, like in terms of resource generation, and then getting your win line. Yeah. Draw 3 is easy, just wriggle up. Crux is slow smile. Oh, Crux is mine. Crux is fine. Okay, now that I'm here, I might remove Shimmering Refraction. I might remove Shimmering Refraction. Yeah, because we have Conflagration. Shimmering Refraction is kind of just a cherry on top, but Glaring Conflagration. Yeah. There's some draw 3, just very rare. God, a draw 2 would actually get me to play. That's crazy. Hello, welcome. Draw 3, discard 1. This is the card that we talk about, which is always used in fire decks, is the draw 2, discard 1. So this is why this one is always played. There is like a class bonus for mage, but like people use this no matter if they're mage or not, just because the draw 2, discard 1 is so strong. It's just so strong, because you get the influence, right? So like the amount of cards in your hand and like what you put down to play, it's called the amount of influence you have. And so because it just boosts your influence and gives you the option of, modifying your hand so that you're not bricked, it's just It's such a staple card, which is why I'm like, okay, I'll add it. Okay, fine, I'll add it. I suppose every fire deck needs it, I guess. Um, so that's the card. Okay, I don't think we need a cauterizing Seraphim. Because we have Hanyo, we don't need cauterizing Seraphim. Because this will take care of our bricking with advanced element cards, I believe. So we will remove that. And then we're at 67 cards. Honestly, probably mark the target. Remove that. So is all deck waifu deck in Grand Archive? No. No. There are men in here. There are definitely non-waifu men in here. Mordred is a newest edition, where he is the fairy godfather. I don't know. He's the king. He's the fairy king. Yes. Sorry, not godfather. So he's not waifu. Husbando, I guess. There's a lot of angry. Yeah, there's a lot of angry men. So we haven't touched the material deck, by the way. Which honestly, you know what? Before we limit whittle this down to 60 exactly, let's look at the material deck. We still have this, by the way, which I'm honestly not sure if we will keep or not, but let's just keep it in there for now. Anyways, so what I do with material deck is I go normal, fire, and umbra, which are the three elements that I could use, right? Take those. Take those. There's also exalted, which angers me a little bit because I can't choose what exalted. It's just gonna be exalted. So, well, anyways, well, I think Sylvie actually does only show exalted fires, I think, instead of the exalted water. But anyways, let's look at it. And then I already take care of type. I already took care of champions, so we can remove that as well. I need to add, oh shoot, spirit. I need to add the fire spirit. Hello? Oh, that's a champion, I guess. Hold on. Let's add the champion back. Alright, so which spirit will I use? So this is a normal spirit, which is just draw 7. Cool. This is glimpse 6, draw 6, then summon a spirit shard token, which lets us draw once we're level 3. Cool. Which, honestly, maybe? And this one's glimpse 7 and draw 7 cards into your memory, in which case you're not able to just play anything in the first round. So depends. If you think your deck is going to brick super bad, fortuitous might be a thing. And then this one is glimpse 6, draw 6, and then lineage release to recover 6. I don't think we need to do this because we're gonna be putting out Ominous Shadows to be able to just negate the damage towards our champion. So I'm leaning towards Fragmented Spirit of Fire because we may potentially break early games. So we want with the amount of advanced element cards that we have. In which case, we want to be able to glimpse, to be able to be like, okay, there's a lot of advanced elements in my first draw. Let me put those on the bottom of my deck and then draw 6. And then summon a Spirit Shard token because we're going to be leveling to 3 ASAP, right? To be able to do our whole shebang. So once we hit 3, we'll be a little low in influence from kind of rushing to get to level 3. So then the drawing card would help. Excuse me. So in that sense, we put in the Spirit Shard. Is this a token again? I think so. Yes. So Spirit Fragment, sacrifice it to draw a card. Easy peasy. Just nice little thing. Also, it's a Fantasia. Exactly. This is another reason why I picked fragmented for a different deck that I've made because Spirit Shards of Fantasia works really well for our deck. So those are some of the things that I think about when I'm choosing a spirit as well, because spirits really do help. They come clutch when you don't, like, in such a subtle way. But yeah, you could always there are choices that you can make with spirits that really really affect the way you play, or how the game the game outcome. Like for example, if you really need that recovering, that serene spirit, you're gonna get low when you're at a later stage. Spirit Serene is a lifesaver. Fortuitous, if you know that you don't need to do anything in the first round, but you really really want a good hand that you might easily brick. Fortuitous. Well, I think so. There's a lot of Guna cards here. Yeah, you don't usually need to think about it when you do it essential. Exactly, like they're not like the most like game changing, but like in terms of like when you're actually building the deck. But like, yeah, when you get to that point where it's just one thing that's keeping you from like winning, it comes in clutch. Mm-hmm. Hey Cohen, thanks for the advice. Oh, no problem. I hope this is helping some people, because I wasn't sure if I should do this because I'm such a TCG baby. But if this helps people get the confidence to try making a deck at least, I'll be happy. Because honestly, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it. I'll do it. So that's why Modest Archive exists. I'm like, I'm not a TCG player, really, but I shouldn't have a podcast for a TCG. But I was like, I think this is a really fun. I think it's a really fun topic of like, and like, it's what happens when I build decks where it just happens to have a really high hipster rating. So I go to Code to help me build decks when my brain is so small, aka podcast. That's crazy. So yeah, okay. But anyways, this is where we so we do want draws, in my opinion. Let's look at Divine Relic. Let's look at the Divine Relics and what we could use. So obviously, if we want just standard draw, Grand Crusader Ring was the go-to. Now I think other ones are kind of like, for example, some people do Lost Providence now, but it's unexalted, so you have to use it later. The Looking Glass was a really popular one because you could use you could ignore the elemental requirements of distortion cards and then sack this later once you're advanced element, but that's not something we really care about. Quicksilver Gale is interesting. I don't have any material cards that I would want to like be like surprise motherfucker yet, so probably not. But Lost Providence has few issues, but I love it dearly. Yeah, like I love Lost Providence, but I think I'll need a draw to get to level 3, so I think Grand Crusader Ring is actually a better option than Lost Providence if it was a choice between the two. Now, on the other hand, Art of War is kind of funny for our deck, because we're going to be rushing to level 3. We are going to be making sure that like the opponent's allies are going onto the field and then miasmoing them or debuffing them. And so I feel like Art of War will be kind of funny. So that's that's something. One day I will make a deck revolved around Imperial Seal. Mark my words, I will make Imperial Seal work. But today is not the day. Yeah, it does affect my own allies too. And to be honest, I don't have allies except Dreaming Unicorn and Haniel. And by the time I'm level 3, I could sack it to pay for something else. So Art of War, kind of funny. But so between Grand Crusader Ring and Art of War, I think Grand Crusader Ring is a little bit more helpful to getting to my end goal. So I will add Grand Crusader Ring and then backup charger. Probably. Yeah, backup charger is another kind of material card that I always put just because I actually didn't know this is like $75. Because I pulled it. I didn't buy it. But it's so expensive now. It's but anyways, you just put down 3 and then you could draw a card and then you get a power cell token. Yeah, it's so expensive. I want it so bad. Oh no, you don't have it. I was so happy when I pulled it. I was so, because I really, really wanted it. I was so happy. It shot up like $50 in the yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I thought this was like 20 something bucks. And now it's $75? It's fucking crazy. Get yourself a Tengu instead. I guess. I don't know. Is Tengu also incredibly expensive? Because this one is also put 3, banish it, and draw a card. You know? Like, $18. Just get yourself a Tengu instead of backup charger. Backup charger does have that one benefit though of if you get turbocharge, because then you could draw 2 and sack the 1 parasol you're gonna generate. So you just put 1 in, and if you draw it, bless. If you don't, whatever. Thurible is cheap if you have one. Oh yeah, Thurible. Oh, I have to set up one. Hold on. This one. This is also X. Target opponent banishes X cards from the grave, or X is 3 or greater, draw a card into your memory. So, honestly, you put down 3, target opponent also banishes 3 cards from the grave, and X is 3 or greater, you draw a card into your memory. Same thing. You're also hurting your opponent at the same time. So, Thurible, barely $4. Really, really, really good. I just don't play wind. I just don't play wind. So honestly, these like draw a card. There's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So you don't have to have backup charger. You know what? I'm not gonna add backup charge. I'm not gonna do backup charger just to prove a point. We don't need it. Okay, we don't need this turbo charge. Backup charger plus a single copy of turbocharge is a match made in heaven. I know. Like, yes, the single copy of turbocharge is what makes backup charger so desirable in comparison. But there are other options. You know, there are definitely other options. So you don't have to shell out $75. just get yourself something else. Like, for example, Tengu, you know, that's one thing a lot of people like. I'll just add it. If you're a warrior like Lorraine, there's Drawn Blade on. But this one actually costs 1, so you want to look for ones that cost 0. Oh yeah, and then there's the Dummy Trainer now, which banish and then draw a card into your memory. Then target opponent summons a training dummy token, which is interesting. I think there's mechanics with the trainer dummy, which I don't know, but I don't know if you want to use this one just because it adds another thing to the opponent's field. So if they do undeniable truth it, oh my god. And then there's the Prison Spire Scepter, which is also the same, where if you are Merlin, as a spell, put 2 Shin counters on a target champion you don't control. But otherwise, 3 banish, draw a card. It's basically free. Oh no, ironically, Dummy Trainer can just help your opponent. Exactly. If they get this one, it's just like if you put a Dummy Trainer on their field, unless you use it, it's very easy for the opponent to be able to like use it. So I wouldn't recommend it. But like instead go for Prison Spire, Scepter, or Tengu, because those are just, you don't give your opponent anything, you know? Which is why I'm like, I need to look into the dummy trainer because and what you could do with it before I could recommend that one specifically. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And then like if you really want, you you could put baubles in your sideboard and then just switch them out depending on who your opponent is, because then you just like you banish it, draw a card, and voila! You don't even need to put it into memory or to pay 3. Easy peasy. So you don't need backup charger. Oh my god, wait, where's the Worn Diary? Wait, is this the Worn was there's also items that are kind of funny where it's like, where's Worn Diary? Ah yes. Where you could put a page counter on Worn Diary for each card in your memory each time, and then once you banish this Worn Diary, only if you have 10 or more page counters on Worn Diary. Yes, I love Worn Diary. It's such a funny card because if you're gonna be hella big in influence, this could go really really fast. So yeah, this is Trainer Dummy is a low-key buffer. Terra Diao-chan would really do well with a Trainer Dummy thing. Yeah, I agree. I should put this in the this card in my diamonds deck. Do it, Worn Diary. People be sleeping on Worn Diary, and like, yeah, the opponent can destroy it, but like they're spending a lot of like generally destroying items. They want to save it for like put like actual important items, like a weapon for like Jin, for example, right? Or like for Diana, a gun. Like, wait, no, those are weapons. They're not items. But anyways, there are better items to focus on than Worn Diary. So like, who's gonna be destroying a Worn Diary? Okay, generally it's gonna be free. Yeah, baubles are free if you have a matching element to the opponent. Yes, baubles are free if you have a matching element to the opponent. So yeah, lots of options. You don't have to go for the backup charger. Of course, you could always put all of them in there and then just be drawing to the ends of the earth. But that's a different thing. Generally, not recommended, because there are a lot of stuff you can do otherwise. Let's see. Wait, did I put Umbra? Wait, yeah, I should have. Okay, and then High Champion. Cool. Is it? Wait, do I have any other? Is there really that little Umbra? Wait, no, it's not showing any of the weapons. Oh wait, because I still had draw a card on. Whoopsies. Okay. I figured it out. Don't worry, guys. I got it. I was like, there's way more Umbra. What? Why are there so few material cards? It was because I had the draw card still up. No, we figured it out. But anyways, there are a lot of funny Umbra cards. But also, this is a really good one. Gloomspire Mantle. On enter, you may pay 3. If you do, summon an Ominous Shroud token, but Umbra Element Fantasia allies you control have ambush. Very good. Just no other comment. Very good. As long as you have 4 or more prep counters on your champion, you may activate this card from your material deck. Fantasia allies you can control can attack using Shadow's Claw. When they do, put a durability count. Oh, that's so beautiful. Because then that's just +1 to each of your Ominous Shadows. That's nice. But honestly, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Because like, I'll think about it. But yeah, this is alright. You're way too horny. Anyways, let's see. So what I want to do is there Fantasy? things revolved around Fantasia. As an additional cost to materialize this card, banish 2 ally cards from a single graveyard. So it doesn't have to be yours. Fantasias you control have spells. Banish up to 2 cards from a single group. That's cool, isn't it? Isn't this a little funny card? Where you can basically give all of your Fantasias, not Fantasia allies, Fantasias, Spell Shroud. Isn't that a funny card? Oh, hell yeah. Interesting. Oh, I mean, Glimmer Essence Amulet. This is I don't know if I'll keep this, to be honest. This is kind of like Life Essence Amulet. If you have an ally and it dies, you draw a card. It's like a draw card with a caveat, like you have to wait for it to be like this, and it's not. Well, it's not your turn. It's not the best. We'll keep that in the back of my mind. I don't know if I'll keep it. Censor is a sideboard. I keep Censor in sideboard. Oops, did I spell it wrong? No, wait. Do I want Nullifying? No, I don't. But do I want Nullifying Lantern? Now that I think about it, because I don't care what the elements in my graveyard are. But what if the opponent does? Is that still a sideboard thing? Yeah, that's probably still a sideboard thing. Hold on. Oops, it was still there. Ah, come back! I keep spelling it with S-O-R instead of S-E-R. That's why it never shows up. I can hear the gears turning in her head. The gears have been turning in my head the whole time, okay? I've also been talking this whole time, so I'm hydrating. And final Tobin, thank you so much for the gold bit. Thank you. Also, thank you for the previous gold bit as well that I missed. Thank you. We got key here shifted to 5th gear. Okay. So we have these. There's quite a bit of Umbra. I don't think I need you. I'll still keep it for now, but like, I don't think I need her. Oh, daggers. Is that your champion attacking an ally? Okay. You may remove a prep counter to activate this card from a material deck. Oh, interesting. That's actually on charge 2, Binding Sin gets +1 until end of turn, then put a purple counter on your champion. At the beginning of the collection, put a charge counter on each object you control with untriggered on charge ability. Trigger this ability from that. Oh, that's a weapon. Dagger. Class bonus. It gets +2. Interesting, but okay. Boring. Oh, this is, yeah, never mind. Don't worry about that one. This one's a classic. Remove a cup counter from a champion. Assassin's Sword gets +2 until end of turn. Wait, where's my go? Where's my poison blade dagger? That one's a norm, right? Was it wind? No way. No. Am I okay? Oh wait, no. Wait. I'm thinking of something. Is it? Am I thinking of about the? Was it an item? It's just you put poison. Oh yeah, it was an item because it's just deal 1 damage to target unit, and then the class bonus until the end of that turn. If that unit would take damage, it takes that much plus 1 instead. Okay, it's not a weapon. It's an item. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Yeah, we don't need this. Hee hee, poison apple. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what? I thought. Okay. I was like, this champion is attacking, and I like her from. Which dagger do I want? Which dagger do I specifically want for her to have? Do I need one? No. I don't specifically need one, I guess. Oh wait, sorry. That bonus, swap the cards in the hand and memory. If there are 4 more cards in the memory, deal 2 and yeah, it's just more consistent. Yeah, exactly. I guess we'll do Assassin's Ripper, cause it just gives that much more, and it's like durability 2, which the other daggers are like. This is the only other one with durability 2, and this one's a lot better in terms of like usability, I think. Oh wait, it's a class bonus plus level 2, and then you don't need to do the prep. Oh, maybe we'll do Emergent Dagger then. You know? Because this one is like. It has 1 durability. I think. Yeah, it's either the Assassin's Ripper or Emergent Dagger, I think. Let's say Emergent Dagger, because we don't have a lot of prep generation, to be honest. Wait, hold on. There was like items that does give prep generation in material deck, though. Bear prep. Like this one, shared blood coding, right? Yeah. Up to 3 target units control gun. On hit, put a prep counter on your champion until end of turn. Honestly, this one is. Yeah. I was like, I know, because I've made this with an Alice Umbra deck. I know that exists. So with this, I'm like, okay. Which one can I put away? This one. This one's just not doing it for me. This one I need. This one I really, really need. Like, I think this one's like goated. Shadow's Claw. Shadow's Claw is good. In which case. 3 raiders from Starfire! Oh my god, Starfire! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in, raiders! Welcome, welcome, thank you so much! Wait, I could do this. Shout out. Starfire. 6, 8, 7. There we go! Yay! Thank you so much! Let's go! I think everyone. I think you should know me. Starfire is a very long time coffee bean, so thank you. I really appreciate it for your long term support. And for if you don't know me, I'm Ko, and I like drawing. I like TCG. I like survival craft. I like automation games. I also like roguelike games. I was like, I don't know why my brain like blue screen for a second. And then yeah, so I like a lot of games. I like tabletop RPG as well. I enjoy a myriad of things. And for TCG, I only played Grand Archive, so Grand Archive is the only card I can really talk about. But yeah, listening into deck building is hard when you don't know the card names. Yeah, that would be hard. I try to explain what the cards do, but it probably wouldn't stick unless you like know the cards as well. Yeah, drawing, tip of the RPG, yada yada yada. I'm Cove. I'm just a content creator, I guess, a streamer, a casual streamer, if you may. All right, so now that we have this, you know, I'm starting to think we don't need a Merchant Dagger because we do have Shadow's Claw, but it is kind of backup if we, you know. So maybe we don't need Shadowblade Coding. Because I feel like these three are just so crucial that maybe this is just being a little too greedy. Maybe. Am I being too greedy? These three, I'm like, okay. Maybe we take out, yeah, maybe, you know what? Let's take out Merchant Dagger. Let's go full greed. We want Shade Blood Coating. We want Poison Dagger. We want Shadow's Claw. You can never be too greedy. Greed is the downfall of men. Don't you say that. Of course you can be too greedy, but you know what? Let's try going full greed for this. All right. So now that we have prep generation with our shade blood coating, it is until we get to Umbra though. So we do need to try to get to level 3 ASAP. In which case, I still think level 2 Tristan might be better, just because like we want to kind of not stay in level 2, and unfortunately this Tristan is not an inherited effect. If this was an inherited effect, I think this Tristan would be a little better. I still don't think people would play that Tristan, to be fair, to honest, if I'm being honest. But I think we'll remove the level 2 Tristan for now, and then we'll go with this main deck. Material deck. And then we'll look at our main deck and think, okay, do I need this, for example? Well, I think we may need, well, no. True Sight, we could just Glower, oh no, we can't Glower Conflagration. We could do a Scorching Trap. Actually, never mind. We have answers for Stealth. Unless they're Dream Fairy. Oh, unless they're Dream Fairy. I think Extraction System we may need. Yeah, we should still keep it. Yeah, we should still keep it. Dream Fairy, I believe, has exactly 3 HP too. So the annoying fairies, we should keep this for the annoying fairies. We'll just make it 3. Make it 3. So now we have 6 cards that we need to remove. Well, I say need, but we should. I think 3 Dungeon Guide is honestly better than 4. Is how I go about it with Dungeon Guides, because generally you only use it to level up 3, and 3 could is more guaranteed that you'll get 1 at least when you need it. 4 you probably brick. Is my experience. Like you get like 2-3 Dungeon Guides in like the first hand. Yeah, I like 3. I think 3 is a sweet spot for Dungeon Guide. You don't always need 4 of every single card, to be honest. Or even 3, like sometimes, like for example with Revealing Mesmer, I'm only putting 2. I think Haniel 3 is probably the most I'll put. As well. Dreamy Unicorn 4, 100%. Innervate Fury, I may put 3. Because, and this is more just because I don't know how often I'll be doing this. Of like leveling back up to Tristan, leveling back up to Tristan. Like, I feel like 4 might be a little too much. Especially since like you won't use it until you hit that level 3. So I'll probably bring this to level 3 instead of 4. Miasma Fog 3 is perfectly fine. I think I don't think we need 3 full playset of Scorching Trap. And then what to? I think Grim for boating. I'll put 3. And 2? 2? Oh, it's so good. All these cards. This is where I start like spending a lot of time. Like, you know, I know we've been streaming for like 2 hours and a half, but like this is where I like think about it for a while, because it's like 2. Like, you know, you could be something like, it's just 2, you know, just remove the, it's easy, right? No, this is where you start being like, okay, how many times do I want to see each card when I'm drawing, right? Do I want, like, which ones do I really want to see? And which ones would I rather see, like, maybe once per turn? So I'm thinking the one where, okay, actually no. This one, I don't need 4 of this. I just remember, like, no, this is the ultimate Shadow Curtains. I'll just put 2. There we go. Yeah, get lost in the sauce, and it's just like, okay, how often do I want to see these cards? You know, this is just like, okay, a miracle. If I could get 10 influence, sure. Like, we will have Fantasias, we will have reservables. I think only 1 reservable. Yeah, just 1 reservable, so not even. So we won't have that much. I don't know how much influence we'll have. We might not even be able to use this. That's the thing. So yeah, I think this looks good. All right, unnamed deck. D above these. Okay. Publish. Woohoo! Okay, so now what do I do? Last step is I copy this. Hold on. I take, ta-da! Grand Archive, Sandbox. Sorry, not Shadowbox. Sandbox. I put my deck in, right? We could remove that, whatever. Private room name. Debuffing these. Okay. And then I create the room. So once I do that, I get my alert loading. Okay. The reason why I do this is so that I could just, you know, I don't even need to do this if I want to, but I do a test of Glimpse 6. Glimpse. All right. We don't need 2 suffocating miasmas in the first go. We don't need the ultimate in the first go, right? I'll do this, finish glimpsing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what our first hand could look like. Honestly, it's mid. What am I gonna do? Nothing. Apparently. Apparently nothing. I will not do anything. So yeah, because like I'm not gonna level up to level 1 with Dungeon Guide. But I could incap them. Haniel, I don't have anything to imbue with, you know. You could press the 6 key to draw 6, by the way. I could. So, like this. Ta-da! Oops. Okay. So, let's look. Next turn, I'll get an ultimate again. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Let's reset. Oops. Yeah, reset the board. It's fine. All right. Let's shuffle again, okay? Let's shuffle. Glimpse 6. So I'm like, okay, wow, my draws. You know what? We'll keep one. let's draw 6. Oh my god! Oh no! What do I even do? Nothing. Apparently, this is the card that I only have 2 of. Okay. So now I start seeing the issue with my deck, right? I'm like, okay, well, obviously, what am I gonna do? Just this first, okay? I can't put any of these down. And then second turn, they'll probably hit me for like, I don't know, let's just put 3 first. And then I'll be like, okay, let me, oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. There we go. Let me pull out Tengu, right? Because then I could just be like, okay, let's reserve 3 and then put sack this, draw, put 1 into memory, recollect all, and then my second turn will look like this. And now I start seeing the issue with my ratio fixing, where I'm like, okay, I probably need a bit more allies. I probably need a bit more things that I could do. Like, my only ally that I could realistically put in is Dreamy Unicorn. So we should probably fix that, you know? We should probably make sure that we have other things than like Dreamy Unicorn that we could do. Everything else needs setup. For example, like, why am I not pulling any Scorching Traps? Like, why am I not pulling any Dreamy Unicorns? Why did I pull all of my ultimates? Yeah, more cards that we can use at the get-go. Why did I not pull any Extraction Incision? Why am I pulling all my Suffocating Miasmas? I don't understand. You know what? Let's put 3. And let's look at allies. You know, sometimes you think you ratioed it enough, but like, your draws can't just be absolute doo-doo, which just so happens to be me. Honestly, another reason why I hate piling decks, my ability to draw cards, the heart of the cards are not with me. I must admit, like, people have seen the kinds of draws I do, and it's actually a little cursed. So there's that. So now I will be like, okay, do I want to add more active like allies on the field? Probably. Or maybe a reservable that I could use, right? No, you know, reservable. For example, oh wait, Contagious, apply. Like maybe I want to put Fractal of Insight, cause apparently I'm breaking a lot, you know. Deal 1 damage to target champion. Unable deal damage to let's see. Deal 2 damage to target ally you don't control. Class bonus. Deal 4 damage to that ally instead. Man. Perfect resource ratio. Hand is all resources and no resource. Yeah, it's my draws kind of dick, kind of ass. So I just need to be able to do stuff without relying on a lot of things like getting the perfect draw. So I think I need, you know, maybe we get Stalwart Shieldmate. Maybe she's the answer to our problems, perhaps, you know? I'll keep her around. Veteran Soldier is a little too expensive for my blood. Is, at least from my experience. So we probably won't do her. She's a Kongming girly. This guy's a warrior. Does the spell deal 3 damage to oh yeah. Kongming guy. There are oh, we could do Shadow Cloak or Shimmer Cloak, I think. There's a typical assassin ally that people like to use. Glimmer Cape, Glimmer. Finder. Oh yeah, Fluffy Shopkeep is another popular one because on enter you may banish 2 cards from your material deck if you do draw a card into your memory. Not something I personally would want to do with this deck, but yeah. Maybe I should get Deadly Opportunist. If you like allies, you can consider Sable something. Oh, Sable Remnant. I was thinking Sable Remnant for cheaper, something that works well in Fire Assassin. Sable Remnant. Sable Remnant's good. I was thinking about him, but I was thinking if I were to use him, I would go for okay. This may be a little bit of a controversial pick, cause I was like, why don't I go for where is she? The Fantasia ally, because she's the same cost, 1/2 instead of 2/1 essentially. Also floating memory, and then she'll work. Oh, there she is, Maiden of Shimmering Air. So she's a Fantasia, which means she'll count as a Fantasia for all of our other cards, and she's a floating memory, and she's 1/2. She's not a 2/1 like Sable, but so, I think I might actually add her. She might actually be the key. Potentially. Now, I'm trying to remember if there's like a good Fire Assassin card, but I don't remember any. Granted, I don't play a Fire often, so like when it comes to Fire, I'm like, Hasty? Hasty? Is that you? That's kind of oh, let's see. Patient Rogue has stealth as long as it's awake. At the beginning of your recollection phase, patient gets +3 until end of turn. Interesting. She is a patient one. Okay. Patient Rogue. That sure is a card. So yeah, you could see how quickly this can be like a 3-hour session. Xiao Chao's attack can't be attacked. If a unit hit by Xiao Chao this turn would die, banish it instead. Oh, interesting. This works for us because she's Assassin Tamer, but oh, but one hit. It feels like she might be hard to use. Oh, there's Library Witch. There's always Library Witch. Just to pull up her influence. Because basically she has intercept, and then when she dies, you could draw a card. Into memory, was it? Or just straight up draw? Hold on. Yeah, just straight up draw. So 2, 0, 1, so she can't attack. But she's just there to die. She's just there to die. And protect you when she can. So she's an option. I like Library Witch. Or we could Scavenging Raccoon be a Scavenging Raccoon is funny. Oops. Scavenging Raccoon is a funny. Like, I hate it when my opponent plays Scavenging Raccoons with passion, with burning passion. So yeah, I think we could lower this Miasma to be 3. We're getting too many. Honestly, I think we could remove the ult. Realistically, I think we could remove the ult. Star Wars Shieldmaid or Maiden of Shimmering Air. I think we have too many response cards. I think we'll turn this to 2. We'll instead do... Ideally, I would rather go with one or the other. But I can't choose at the moment. I'm just gonna put Stalwart Shieldmaid and Shimmering Air. Here. I'll add this back to 2 as well. Save. Angel 10. You just want me to play angels, don't you? I know. I know you. Okay. And then we exit this game. And then we put this again. And then private the buffs. Okay. So we shuffle again just because we don't trust one shuffle. Alright, so Glimpse 6. No, I'd never play or get others to play angels. That's crazy. That would be crazy. Okay, actually we could keep this and take out something like Shimmering and try to get one more Umbra to do Honey Elves Imbue. That might be that could be a strat. Or we could just bloop bloop, bloop. No, actually, oh, let's try it. Finish Glimpse and then draw 6. Well, look who's Gamba worked out. Well. So we could do this and bam, bam, bam. Oh wait, hold on. The imbue. And then if any is abused, to put a debuff counter on target ally you don't control. Okay, what a waste to do as a first turn, but it is something that we could have in our hand. So cool, very cool. Instead, what is the more realistic thing to do is do Stalwart Shieldmaid and wait. Never put on my reading glass. 2. Okay. And then we put down 2, and then on the next turn we put down a Tengu. Wait, why am I putting it on the champion line? Anyway, we put down a Tengu, and then we reserve these, and then draw a card into here and yank the Tengu, and then probably she's probably dead. Actually, you know what? Opponent may not, just because she's floating memory, and they may potentially not want to give me a floating mem. So we'll take her out and then recollect and then draw. And wow! That's when, if an opponent has, like, for example, we'll just put one here, this, then we could be like, well, bam, 1, 2, 3, flip, and then put a buff counter on her. Wow, cool. Smack. Smack for 3, and then, you know, for example, we'll take out their ally that they most definitely put down, and then we'll be like, haha, I still have a Stalwart Shield made, and that's my end of turn. And see how they do. And then if they put down something that's 2 health, we could put down a Scorching Trap. Or we could just save this and then later be like, okay, what if they take down Stalwart Shieldmaid? Then I could just level. This is like the most idealistic way of things turning out. Or I could do Grand Crusader Ring and then draw a card. So honestly, it's working great so far. And then we could do another Hanya. And then we could have Dreamy Unicorn. Wow. So, okay. Honestly, adding Dreamy Unicorn, adding just that one thing fixed our hand, but this may just be like me actually getting like a good starting hand. Stalwart Shieldmaid was a go-to choice. Yeah, I think she's the better choice, to be honest. Instead of like, for example, this, we may as well just add. Oh wait, add to main deck. Do this. And I don't know we should have 4. Let's see. Wait, why is there 61? Oh well. Let's assess that. We finally get manifest threat, but no debuff to speak of. Okay, let's put this back. Okay, finish glimpse, and then draw 6. In which case, we'll put down 2 like this. So I do a few just in case. Like, obviously, this is kind of whatever. We'll do this, and then perhaps, mayhaps, she'll die. We could put a prep counter, add a counter, pink, and then we recollect all, draw, whoops, draw. Wait, did I draw to, no I didn't. Okay. So this is kind of like a more realistic way of like my hand carrying out. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. I have nothing. I guess I'll take 5 damage next turn. And then I will straight up just, I can't even pay for level up, so I'll do this. I'll sack it, I'll draw for turn, and then I'll draw for turn. And then, okay, then I could do this. And then be like, wow, okay, these are all the Umbra decks and the Umbra cards that I have in buff. And then I could incap once I have this down or stuff. And then if I'm Haniel, I probably debuffed, in which case then I could do Manifest Threat and reserve, and kill an ally that I debuffed, and then immediately get the floating man. Okay, I think this ratio is working. And so usually, you know, obviously you play against another person and try it out, but for me, I don't. I just play against my imaginary self. And think about what is the worst possible thing the opponent can do for me. In which case, yeah, she's definitely dying. Next turn, yeah, she definitely died next turn. And then I'll go from there. So I'll do like 3 or 4 turns and just to see how the deck feels, and then adjust it from there. So sometimes I'll put things in sideboard if I could kind of like foresee that I would probably switch some stuff out, and if not, yeah. And see, TCG player $200. This is my deck cost. If it was backup charger, it might have been $270, but you don't need backup charger. It's $200. So this is how I go about making my deck. I think these Grand Crusaders ring is still $20, so that's adding to it. I believe this is okay. 3. Everything else is like, I think Fragmented Spirit. Yeah, this is $20. So like the spirits are pretty expensive, to be honest. Oh, this is 50. Oh shit. Okay, this is where the big money is. Shadow's Claw. I could see why, because you definitely want this if you're Tristan, 100%. But oof. So, and then Haniel is probably costly. But the reason why we said shout out your deck is because sometimes, unfortunately, Sylvie, I like it better for deck building, but when it comes to the cost estimate, it sometimes breaks and it'll show as 0. So shout out your deck is a little bit more consistent when it comes to showing the like, TCG player low cost, which is why we ask for shout out your deck when it comes to submission. But you could always build it on Sylvie, and then you know, shout updates every 24 hours. Oh dang, okay, very nice. I don't know how often Sylvie does it. But shout out your deck is apparently every 24 hours, which is great. Also, I need to go now because I need to shower. I'm still stinky. So I need to go shower. So this is how I build my deck. I hope it was, I hope there was some tidbits that you were able to use for your deck building, or you just found it fun to see how other people build their decks. So, I hope this helped you be able to have the confidence to just start building the deck. Um, I went over some of the things that I want to like keep track of, which is like, can I protect myself from an opponent casting a card? Yeah, I have incap. Can I? And then I have intercept. And then I have taunt. That's These three will take care of most things for me. Do I have a kill line? Which, yes, I have two. I have Glorious Conflagration and my Ominous Shadows. So I generally want like two kill lines, or at least one that's like a sub kill line, and then one that's like a main kill line. Like this will obviously do more damage. The Ominous Shadows, but this will do a good amount of damage. If I need to, and if I could get 2 hits down, that would probably take care of most of their HP. But if I get the Ominous Shadows out, I should definitely have a kill line. So that's kind of how I build my deck. And then the Manifest Threat is more of just killing allies, which are going to prove to be really problematic if I don't take care of them. And these two are mainly for champions, so I need something for allies. So Manifest Threat, and then the Miasmas. The Miasma Fog is so funny. So that's kind of what I try to keep in mind when it comes to creating my deck. And then of course after that I look at the balance between floating memories, the draw power, and see if I could get enough to be able to get to this level 3. But that's where like Sandbox comes in, or Tabletop Simulation. But like this is free. This is a very nice. I would suggest Sandbox, free to play, free to download, and then you just paste in your deck, test it out. If you can't get to level 3 in an easy manner, you might be like, okay, maybe people are being too greedy with like my kill lines. I need to be able to at least get to my kill lines. So that's where you start like tinkering with the ratio. And once you're able to get comfortably to the level 3, then you play against an actual person and be like, oh shit, okay, definitely different from my mental opponent, so let me change stuff again. But hopefully it will help you. Hopefully the initial like thing will help you be like, okay, at least I know some stuff that I can do. And then yeah, that's how I go about my deck. I hope this helped. And have fun with it. If building decks doesn't prove to be fun, you could always go to like Sylvie or shout out your deck, copy an existing deck, and just play that. It's okay. You don't need to build the deck if you really don't want to. But this is for people who want to tinker with building decks. So Ko, when are you bringing this deck to Worlds? Never. Alright, I will go now. Thank you everyone for popping by. I hope this proved to be a little useful. If not, oh well. But thanks for sticking with me. Alright, see you next time. Koyasumi. Bye bye.